we equate our value to how many men want to sleep with us, how many men are in our DMs, and how many proposals we got. Not marriages, proposals. If all these guys want us and we want none of those guys, then we have no option. And I think that's like a hard pill for us to swallow. Like, we don't want to admit that, but we know deep down inside, like, we go to our message requests or our DMs or our text messages, and it's just full of guys that want to sleep with us or, talk about our bodies. We realize, like, damn, we ain't got no option. Because really, you only consider the guys' options that you actually want.
Oh, I'm so glad that this woman just came out and said it. Women live in this delusional world thinking that their value is based on how many men want to sleep with them. Ladies, every guy wants to sleep with you. There's a reason why Lily Phillips can get 1,000 men to sleep with her in 24 hours. 1,059 to be precise. We can't ignore that 59. Don't you understand that, ladies? So that means if something is so abundant, so readily available, it is not valuable. That means you get no value from it. Imagine me saying, you want something that's very valuable? Just go to the beach and pick up a handful of sand. You are rich. You're rich, lady. No. The reason why sand has no value is because it's readily available. You can find it anywhere. But they prefer to live in this delusion. You know how much man I got in my DMs? It's fine if it's just a delusion in women's head. It makes them feel good, but they don't act on it. But it becomes a serious problem for you when you divorce your husband, when you leave a good boyfriend that has been steady and there for you right through the thick and thin, because you really think you have options because you got guys sliding into your DMs. Ladies, you got to freaking wake up and realize, man, Jesus, you all are not kids. You all act like kids. If you can vote and you can legally have sex, you are an adult. So, my friends, that was my opening rant. Welcome to this week's Older Man's Random Reviews.
The Older Man Random Review. Learn about life from an older man. Yes, an older man.
Yes. This I usually do on a weekend, but this weekend I covered another subject. But I want to always bring a collection of videos that don't always tie together in one general subject. And it's usually the videos that you guys send me and you want my opinion on. Okay? So my friends, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Listen, man, I'm here to educate as best as I can. And I'm using videos, reviews and videos, because one of the biggest beautiful things about life, if we want to see life playing out, we either have to go to multiple places and experience multiple cultures physically, or you just go to social media. Because think about it. What is social media? Social media, in essence, is a blank slate. Let me repeat that. Let's say, what is Facebook? What is Instagram? What is TikTok? If no one contributed to these sites would not exist. These places exist because people share their life on it. Now, whether this life is fake or skits or real events, it all displays the dynamics of human existence and human interaction with each other, the social aspects of life. And so when I critique these videos, you have to really understand that this is reality. Now, I get exposed to 3 different sources of reality. Social media, a lot more. My real life, and usually I use the gym as a place where I experiment and I encounter different cultures, different types of women, married, gay, straight, fat, slim, depressed, happy. It doesn't matter. Every single variety of male and female are present in the gym. It's a great way to see what a culture of people. And of course, third, my life experience, the massive amount of people that I have encountered over time. And I have always kept a very clear picture of people I've met. And of course, people call in from all over the world to talk to me on a daily basis. So I get to equate and add and compare all of these different sources of interaction with human beings in order to paint or come to a conclusion about people's life. And I can tell you, social media isn't far off. It isn't far off, as you guys always say, oh, that's social media. I can assure you, my friends, social media isn't far off from real life. Because what we're seeing today is less and less curated videos, and we're seeing more of people's real lives, whether it's nasty or good, played out on social media. Everything is played out on social media. And you can see that as a good or bad thing. So let's get into the next one.
New life scares you so much that
It's not new life.
what is it?
I went through my divorce, and it was not a pretty divorce. And I felt like I would never get married again after that. I wasn't going to get a woman pregnant either, because that to me was not building a home. It's just building another broken home, and I didn't want to contribute to that because I came from a broken home. You have to also understand how I came into this world.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, so I'm a product of my mom was about 11 years old and had me at 12. A train wreck. And my relationship with my mom was a train wreck. Until I was 17, I realized, because I was told how I was brought into the world, that all the hate that I had towards my mom turned into love, because I realized that my mom was a kid trying to raise kids.
I'm sorry. It's triggering.
You want me to come on over and give you a hug?
One thing we never do, man, you never judge an individual. You never know what they're going through. You never, ever look at an individual and think that you know their life. You don't know their history. You don't know where they've come from. And that could either result in them lashing out at you or withdrawing. And so there's one thing I never do. I never judge an individual until they show me who they are. Never do. Show me who you are, then I can make up my mind. I'm not a therapist, but I just understand people because I make a conscious effort to understand people. I really like people. I love being around people. I love experiencing people. I don't care who you are. If you were to equate my interaction with people, it would be like reading a book. Every individual who comes to me and I interact with, I feel like I've read a beautiful book, good book, bad book, mysterious book, happy book, sad book. It doesn't matter. Everybody comes with different types of emotions. And why I love long interactions and over longer periods of time with individuals is because people tend to share more. They open up to you and you get to see the depth of an individual. So I tend to want to know more about the individual. I ask questions. I probe. But one thing I realize about life, in order to get something from someone, I have to also give them a bit of who I am. I'm not afraid to share who I am. I'm doing it here, right? But it's a beautiful thing when that exchange occurs. And sometimes, it's temporary, and sometimes these relationships, when I do interact with people, last for months, years, sometimes decades. Like I always tell you guys, I have 4 good old friends from high school that are still a major part of my life. I just interacted with one of them just 45 minutes ago, and he lives halfway across the world. And usually we interact weekly, daily sometimes, depending on who's having issues or who did a good joke or they have something to debate. We interact. So this is important, my friends. It's important. It's vital for your life.
As you get older, you realize something important. Life is not really about money or career or even family. Because let's be honest, your family doesn't laugh at your stupid dad jokes. They just roll their eyes. But friends, old friends, that's the jackpot. I met my high school buddies. We hadn't changed. 35 years later, still the same idiot. Just with weaker knees and lower back pains. We laughed so hard talking about our teenage years. Back then, we were just dumb. But we are dumb together, and that's what mattered. We are so busy laughing, it felt like we are 17 again. But now, when we laugh too hard, someone has to go to the bathroom. But here's the thing. Having people who knew you before you had wrinkles, before you had beards, before you had kids. That's real wealth. If you have friends you can sit with, drink with, laugh with until your face hurts, congratulations, you are already rich.
Absolute fact. Gentlemen, you got to hold on to your friendships. You have to. And you can always start a new friendship. Here's the thing about friendships. You have to maintain them. Old friends, you can let more time slip between interactions. New friends, you have to foster those and you have to take care of those a lot more. I find that as we get older, we tend to get lazy with our friendships. It's easy to come home and turn on the TV and forget about the day and relax and fall asleep on the couch and wake up the next day, go to work and do the same shit each and every day, you know, without even acknowledging that your friends exist, because you always think, they're there. But it's vital for you to water those friendships. You gotta nurture them. You gotta call up and say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Just checking in on you. Everything good? Yeah, man, all good. What's up with you? Just sitting there feeling kind of lonely, you know? So I just thought I'd give you a call. It's okay to be vulnerable with your friends. It's vital to be vulnerable with your friends. What the hell are you lonely about? Then you can get into that conversation. Because your friends stretches your thought process. Your friends aren't afraid to ask the hard questions, make you think. It's the best therapist you can have, actually. So foster your friendships, my friend. Now, part of having a friendship is also to have a friendship with your partner, your wife. This video says, prioritize your marriage. Kids grow up and leave. Parents pass away. And friends come and go. In the end, it's just the two of you. So make sure your bond is unbreakable. Because this also goes hand in hand with friendship. Your partner should also be a friend. Don't have to be your best friend, but she has to be a friend and your lover. You have to also create that bond between you and her. And ladies, you have to create a bond with your husband. But make sure you realize that your husband isn't your gay friend that's going to, tell you how cute you are and how sweet you are all the time. You go, girl. No, he's a different type of friend. As long as you understand that he's coming with a different type of friendship. But you must have that connection. You must stay connected in a friendly fashion as well. This is the best relationship advice I've heard lately.
What's your relationship advice?
If your man cannot afford your bills, you need to find a job, not another man.
The best freaking advice ever. Remember that, ladies. You remember that. That's why the men are running to Asian women, because they get it. They get it. Beautiful. So, of course, with these videos, I got to go to the comment section. I need to hear what people are saying. True Grinder said, she's talking directly to one of her friends. Kamal says, she fully paused to say it respectfully. Bless her. Gully 2x6 says, she single-handedly broke the Matrix. And the best one, NT Music says, this was the best 2-hour movie I ever watched. Highly recommended. That was brilliant. This for all of you that really don't understand older men. Especially when you see an old man with a trucker's cap, a jacket, and he has shoulders like this. Don't piss this guy off. Do not do it. This guy is going to knock you the hell out. Okay? Look at this video here.
This man quickly learned to never fight with an old man because during a road rage incident, the skinny jeans guy went up and threatened him. But think about it. If you win, you've only beaten up an old man. And if you lose, you just got beaten up by an old man. Still, the skinny jeans guy didn't care and hit the old man, knocking his phone away. Then this happened.
Yeah. You know when you get hit and you get knocked out standing on your feet, you're going to fall like a tree. Not only you get knocked out on your feet, you're going to get concussed when your head hit the ground. Older men, gentlemen, just a little word of advice just so that you don't end up in a serious lawsuit. A gut punch is a lot better, much more appropriate, and it's a much bigger target. Just under the rib cage, just in and up a little bit. That's enough to just knock the wind out of them, but not concuss them, put them in the hospital, and you end up in a lawsuit. Just a little word of advice from an experienced guy who can discipline someone without seriously hurting them. Okay. Comment section. Any Y who says, it's rude to go to sleep during an argument. William McLaren said, old men do not get old by accident. Z and J family said, that's not an old man. That's a man that has worked his whole life. Exactly. Oh, man. And this is an important lesson for you younger guys. Martin Millard said, people from his generation don't play. He's worked his whole life and his hands and isn't going to tolerate disrespect from a man wearing his sister's jeans. Oh, man. Sevos says, who has watched this more than 10 times for sheer pleasure? Mr. P7318 says, I love this. You have no idea what that older gentleman has seen or what's happening in his life right now. Always give grace to your elders. And this is the thing, man. I mean, a lot of people underestimate the older generation. Generation X upwards, we don't come from your pampered generation of little, well, they call them skinny leg jeans guys. It's true. Especially if he's a blue-collar guy like this guy, you don't even think about it. You say, yes, sir, okay, I'm sorry that you cut me off. The man was obviously trying to exchange numbers and trying to apologize because older men, that's what we do. Okay, shit, I screwed up, done this many times. Let me just take your number. We can do whatever. But no, he had to slap the phone out of the man's hand. Oh, no. For me, that would have been a gut punch. Your ribs would have probably, just cracked maybe a little, but you were getting fucked up just like this guy did. Okay? So there's a lesson for your younger generation. Woman's dating profile goes viral after she lists everything she expects a man to pay for if he swipes right. So sick of seeing these freaking over the top idiots. Christine, 39. My rent is 3-4. I got 2 boys under the age that needs new jeans and school clothes. Light bill is $350. I need a new car with insurance. My hair is $200. Nail shop $90. I want a personal allowance $750 a month. Groceries $1,200. That's just another idiot that's going to be freaking single for the rest of her life. What do these women think? Comment section. Marcus Noble says, she just found out her Section 8 is being cut. David Dashfield says she's going to be single for the rest of her life. Paul Pantow says, and all she brings to the table is hammered cat and more problems. And Aaron J says, people wonder why men don't mind staying single. Yeah, nothing else to say about that one. Gentlemen, that wasn't even worth sending me because you know the answer to that. And that came with this meme, this photo. One's a partner, the other is a project. I'll bring you a plate, massage your feet, light some candles for you, brings him food. The other one, 2 babies, like the previous so-called profile. If he ain't paying all my bills and my daycare, he ain't no man. Yeah. When you understand how men think.
I'm just going to leave it here so I can drink water again later. Wait. What did I just do? Maybe that's why... Maybe he's not being disorganized for leaving the glass out. He's just saving it so he doesn't use another glass in case he needs it later. Now everything makes sense. Of course he puts it on the chair because it's not clean enough to hang it up. But it's also not so dirty that you should put it in the laundry basket. He's saving it to wear it back on later. Maybe he's not disorganized. He's just logically organized. I think I finally managed to understand it. But still...
The dirty bin, and when you can drink a glass, you have to wash it and put it inside the sink.
I understand it, but I don't justify it.
She couldn't just leave the man alone and make him be happy. She had to destroy that. And that is the part that most men would have probably missed here. She saw the man being happy without her interaction. Women have this thing that he's not allowed to be happy without her. It triggers something in their head. How dare he be happy without me? That's what I saw in that video. Of course, her logical brain kicks in every once in a while and identify why a man do those things. But she still have to be a nuisance. And ladies, if you're that type of woman, you're the problem. Because all you're doing is bringing unnecessary stress to your relationship that shouldn't be there in the first place. Constantly shit testing your husband even though you know exactly why he do what he does, that should not be something that you do. Because once you become a bundle of stress, then the man will start to seek the peace somewhere else. And all it takes is some other woman to be nice to him, to show him some peace. Hey, come over, let me cook you something. Hey, let me rub your feet. All of a sudden, you're sharing him. So ladies, be careful when you watch these stupid ass videos and think that you got to mimic these type of women, because it's not cute. Sometimes a girl needs her dad. So she's in a cooking competition, Master Chef. The value of a father, the value of a man. That could have been a husband or it could have been a father. The value of a man is immeasurable, even for something that simple. But it made her win. It helped her. Remember that, ladies. Remember moments like this. And understand that men are here to make your life easier. That's the message you should take away from this. And the second biggest lesson is, do not deny a girl or your child the presence of her father. Never. Because these are the little things that men bring to the relationship. You don't even see these.
There's no question that modern psychotherapy and psychology is profoundly narcissistic. A lot of therapists are there to reinforce the patient's feelings of being a victim, which is usually a perverse form, or not perverse, psychopathologic form of self-centeredness. It's narcissism. Oh, you feel you were hurt by your parents? You certainly were. Instead of, you know what, everybody's hurt by their parents. That's part of life, and it's time for you. You're now 25. This happened when you were 9. It's time for you to grow up. How many therapists say that? They're afraid they'll lose a patient, and then they probably will. People often go to therapists to feel vindicated in their victimhood, not to actually get better.
There's actually a lot of truth to this. And if you find yourself with a therapist who isn't challenging you and who isn't holding you accountable, they're likely doing so because it's just easier for them. Growth is uncomfortable. Hearing things that you don't want to hear about the way you're living your life is uncomfortable. If you just have someone validating how you're feeling and just saying, yeah, I totally get that, you would feel that way, and then not going to that extra step and saying, okay, well, how's that serving you? How are these feelings that are holding you back from changing your relationships, your work, your health? If they're not taking it to that next level and saying, well, if you just keep on feeling this way and keep on coming up with the same old story about why you can't change things, how are things going to look for you in 2 years? How are things going to look for you in 5 years? You need your therapist to be challenging you. If they're not doing that, they're probably not helping you.
Here's the thing. A therapist is not a mentor. And this is what a lot of people have this misconception of. A therapist is not there as your mentor. A mentor is there to guide you through life. Identify a problem and say, okay, how are we going to solve this? This is how I solved it. This is how I see other people solving it. Fix it. Fix it. This is how you solve it. This is what I would recommend. Let's talk about it. Let's look at solutions, not sit there and ruminate about your feelings. That's not what I do. I'm a mentor. I'm not a freaking therapist. Every single person who calls me, I am looking for solutions for you. So you don't have to call me again. That's the difference between what I do and what a therapist would do. Now, I can identify when you have some deep freaking rooted shit in there that, yeah, I think you need more than just mentorship, my friends. You got some deep rooted stuff in there. You need to talk about it. You need to get that out. And I'm not capable of handling that sort of psychological brain dump. For lack of a better term. I don't know what the technical term is, but sometimes I'm old enough and experienced enough to know when somebody's in deep pain, and I can't freaking deal with that. I can't fix it. So I'll have to recommend professional help. But navigating life, etc., yeah, of course I can help you with that. Easy. Because I've been down many, many paths before. Now, talking about someone who needs deep psychological help, hopefully this one don't get copyright blocked and you'll actually see it. Because if it does get blocked, then you won't see this video. I'll have to take it out.
What age were you when you first, looked at cosmetic procedures or, thought about doing one?
My first cosmetic procedure was in 2015. That was my breasts. It sort of started as a fetish for me.
The surgery was a fetish?
Yeah. For the longest time, I was into something called objectification, which is like, me being more like a doll.
Okay.
Things like that. And then that gradually became bimbofication for me. Okay. So turning myself into a bimbo.
So the surgeries in the beginning, you were trying to make yourself doll-like?
Yeah. Becoming the most plastic version of myself. The on a stick sort of look. I've had 4 breast augmentations. I've obviously done my lips quite a few times. I have done lots of Botox in my entire face. I love to be as frozen as possible. And then I have done my nose. I've had different fillers in my face, like cheeks, chin, nasolabial.
Do you have a figure you can put on it?
Over the years, I've probably spent over 250,000 pounds. It's a very expensive lifestyle, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of upkeep.
And do you feel like you are living your most authentic self now?
100%.
No, she isn't. I saw when she looked in the cup when that question came. Yeah, she's not living her authentic life. No, she must know that she screwed up. She needs help. These are people that really need help. But the attention that she's getting is overwhelming. So she's high on the attention. Remember, gentlemen, meet money, energy, attention, or time. The woman needs all 4 of those things to feel that she is a woman. £250,000. That's what? Almost $300,000 she spent on herself. That money that, most people just, where the hell is she getting that money from? I don't know. Mind blowing, my friends.
Your homie dead. Your homie dead. He got shot in the head. Your homie dead.
Evil is real, people, and it kind of looks like that. Evil. Evil. Murder is bad. She is evil. Why are you being so hateful?
Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you not put the camera in my face?
I'm sitting here. You walked up to me.
Okay, well,
I don't want this. I said rest in peace.
Okay, and I can
just leave it alone. Please don't come after
Ma'am,
me.
you've been
I want to be left alone.
I'm not emotional, ma'am. Don't tell me what I am and what I'm not. You can get out of my face because I can tell you what you are, but you won't like it.
You're being aggressive. You're being aggressive.
I'm not being aggressive. My voice is very calm. You're calling me aggressive because I'm a black woman.
Not at all.
No, we're not. Your homie dead.
Wow. Texas Tech student arrested for mocking Charlie Kirk's death. Apparently she wasn't arrested for that. She was arrested because she actually assaulted this gentleman, and police arrested her for that. But remember what I just said about money, energy, attention, and time. This is the society that we now live in. Everybody needs attention. Look at me, look at me. And we're now realizing that people get more attention when they become assholes rather than being good people. So, everybody out there acting like an asshole. Woo! Let's finish with this one. Another single mom trying to shame men into taking care of her and her kids. Oh, it never gets old.
I think that any man that's in the dating world that thinks that a woman with children is baggage shouldn't be dating. And I think that that's an insult to motherhood. And
How is it insulting? If you're a single mother dating a man with no kids, at some point you are expecting this man to provide and protect your kid. If he doesn't do that, you're not really going to look at him as a man. Now, does this man have authority to discipline your kids?
I would call my baby daddy and he would be getting his ass beat.
Okay, so
because you're not touching my son. You're my boyfriend. That's just not going to happen.
No.
That's my child.
The part that's crazy is you can't see that another man has to take on all of this responsibility, but he doesn't have the same authority as the man that you're not even with.
That's his business and that's what he does. And
this is why it's an L. Responsibility without authority is essentially slavery. And it's like 2 against 1. This nigga come home walking on eggshells. Oh, dang, I gotta please her and please this little bad, little nasty, little gremlin looking kid. Dad, I gotta please both of y'all. He's in the ultimate form of simpery.
This little gremlin. This little gremlin looking kid that has no discipline because his dad isn't around. I gotta put up with that in my house while I'm with this woman? Hell no. Ladies, don't even try to fight this argument anymore. Men are not out there trying to freaking wife up or even have a serious relationship with a single mom. Stop dating until that child leaves your house. You can get dick down, but don't expect anything else. So my friends, listen, I could go on with these because there's tons and tons more, but I try to keep it a half an hour, 40 minutes max. My friends, like this video on the way out, please book a session with me if you have any issues, if you need any mentoring, etc. I'm here for you, my friends. I will try to make sure that I can distill as much of my knowledge, my life advice, as best as I can, so that I can help you navigate this world that we're now living in. Okay? So until tomorrow, my friends, remember, whenever in doubt, always, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.